Good to have you on this day live, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu. Thank you for joining us again on this program.
Thank you very much, Ruben, and happy Sunday.
Same to you, sir. Yeah. Well, quickly, what happened in the National Assembly, on the floor of the Senate particularly, whereby, the major thing that we can hang on to is that Northern senators were very furious, to be specific. Senator Ningi and Senator Ali Ndume, following the prompting of the Northern Governors Forum. Now, governors of other states are also saying that they don't want those 4 tax bills, that will ensure reform. Now, the position of Mr. Taiwo Yedele, chairman of the Presidential Committee on Tax Reform and Fiscal Policy, and that of Dr. Zach Adedeji, the chairman of Federal Inland Revenue Service, is that, look, the proposed bills will promote justice, fairness, equity. But there are some of your colleagues in that Senate who think that states should not, receive VAT only on what they consume. They want to collect VAT on export and import. They want to collect VAT on international services. They don't even want the clause in the reform bills saying that people who don't earn up to 50,000, 70,000 should not pay tax, and that those who earn over 100 million should pay at least about 25%. I'm just trying to summarize. You know the details since it has come before the Senate. So what is your own stand in this matter? Are you one of the senators supporting the governors, saying that they don't want competition, they don't want production, they just want to keep collecting money?
Well, thank you, Ruben, Dr. Akpati. For me, democracy is about choices. And the choices of democracy is what people believe in and what people think about and what people try to do. Both the holder and beholder are right. In a constitutional democracy, which is about the people, you cannot just agree on everything. The bill is a progressive bill, very progressive. But if there are disagreements in the bill, which people might think is unconstitutional, we will address it because the President of the Senate and the senators have already passed this bill to go for public hearing. In the public hearing, people are concerned about Section 77 and Section 26. We will be able to address those sections in the public hearing. I think what this bill tried to bring is fiscal federation, fiscal policies, and that will bring as you produce, you earn. Whatever you produce locally, you earn. And let me be honest with you. Ndume is a very great senator. I don't discard Ndume. I don't ever say he's not doing his job. He has a right to disagree, whatever he do not believe in his constituency. But those who believes that this bill is progressive are also progressive with the bill, because the bill is about Nigeria. India, as you may know, for them to come out of where they are, they've amended about 2,000 obscure bills in their system. So Nigeria needs to continue updating our bills. I don't totally agree that this is good or bad. You elected us to make a bill, and I have my colleagues. It's not about North or South. I'm a Nigerian, and I believe I'm a genuine Nigerian. If this bill is about Nigerians, the Senate President, in his wisdom, sent this bill for public hearing and constituted an elders committee in the Senate, which about 5 or 6 of us, I think if I can remember, I'm a very old man now, Dr. Akpati. If I can remember, he put Senator Aleru there, he put Senator Orji Kalu, Senator Dixon, I think Senator Asukwo, and the chairman of that council should be the minority Senate leader, Abamoru, and one other person. We are 5 of us. So if they have given us this wisdom, I tell you on my honor as a Catholic, I will defend the cause of Nigeria. Whatever is good for Nigerian people is what I will stand for. I will not stand for east or worse. I will not stand for anybody trying to cheat anybody. I'm a beneficiary of Nigeria, and Nigeria is my country, and I work for Nigeria.
Okay,
the bill is progressive,
Senator,
and we should work on the bill. If there is any section of the bill that is not good for Nigerian people, then if there's any section of bill that conflicts with the Constitution, we'll look at it.
Okay, Senator.
The Governors Forum, they are very right. No, the Governors Forum, they are right. Because when I disagree with the bill, they have no information. Professor Oyedide, the man in charge of taxation, a great scholar, he gave us what I wanted to hear, because the bill was totally about fiscal federalism.
Okay, Senator. Yes, I had all the points you made about the public hearing where matters can be resolved and all of that. And I hope that it will be a public hearing that will pass the test of integrity and accountability, because we have had cases in the past where, kangaroo public hearings were conducted. But what I wanted you to actually respond to is this perception in some quarters that, in fact, President Tinubu wants this bill so that states like Lagos, Bayelsa, the FCT, and Oyo State can make more money, and some other states can be deliberately impoverished. What do you think of that allegation?
As I've told you before, this bill is very progressive, and this bill is going to bring back fiscal federalism, and many senators have not been briefed. I think the federal government made a mistake. The federal government, the initiators of this bill, could have gone to brief the Council of States, the Economic Council, and brief the Forum of the Governors and make it public to Nigerian people. I'm a very honest man. I'm a Nigerian who believes in Nigeria. And I believe so much that what Nigerians can do for themselves. Because one of my friends called me and said, oh, President Tinubu wanted to put another alpha beta in Nigeria, like he put in Lagos State. That is not the issue. The issue is that we need to make amendments of our laws. These laws are over 100 years. I support that our laws, not only the tax bill, many other laws are obsolete. We need to bring new laws. We need senators like Ndume, who will raise up our conscience. I respect Senator Ndume very well, and I do not scare him away. Those who tell Senator Ndume to shut up are not being kind to democracy. Democracy is not about one voice. Democracy is about multiple voices. Democracy is about what people, is a government being guided by majority of the people. And Ndume is one of them. So I buy the friendship of Ndume because I've known him for many years. So he's a strong voice. Well, and the Senate president did not shut him up. The rhetoric is not about Ndume. The rhetoric the sitting president that day was talking about, it was general rhetorics. So there is no kangaroo public hearing. The governors can be there with their people. Anybody can be there. But this bill is very progressive. Any part of this bill that conflicts with Nigerian Constitution, I will never vote for it. Any part of this bill that have anything to do against our existing law in Nigeria, I would not vote for it. And many other people will not vote for it. The people who are supporting this bill support this bill because it's a deal that will bring all Nigerians together. That will bring back fiscal federalism, as I've told you.
Okay,
If whatever
Senator,
you produce, you earn.
Senator.
That will make some governors to go back to their states and make the state to be safe. So people can start producing goods and earning goods to sell so they can earn money.
Okay, Senator Kalu, I'm glad that you are aware that some people are saying, oh, maybe this tax reform thing is about bringing alphabet to the nation. And you say that's not true. But what about attempts at national integration by President Tinubu? You must have heard allegations that there is a Lagosization of Nigeria going on, a Tinubunization of Nigeria going on, where people from Lagos and Yorubas mainly have been given the major positions in this government. You must have heard that too, the same way you heard about attempt to alphabetize Nigeria.
Well, I cannot speak to President Tinubu. He's elected president and he was prepared to be president. He fought to be president. I didn't fight to be one. And President Tinubu knows those who work for him. And it is not fair. And I think if we, as Nigerians, want to better Nigeria, President Tinubu needs to work on integration of the country. He needs to bring every part of the country together. Whether we are north, we are south, we are east, we are west, we are anywhere. I think there's a lot of hatred in Nigeria. People hate themselves. People hate one another. People talk about tribes. People talk about this. I came from Lagos to be governor of Abia State. If I might tell you this, Dr. Akwati, you will not believe it. When I was leaving Lagos, my two girls, Nea and Zina, were living with Senator Oluremi Tinubu in Lagos State for over 3 years. They stayed with her because we had no French school where they were going in Lagos, in Abia. So we leave them in Lagos Marine House. That is what Nigeria is all about. Nigeria should be about one. Nigeria should not be about Yoruba. It should not be about Igbo. It's not about Hausa. It's not about Kanuri, Fulani, or anybody. It's just like you. When you said, I'll ask you a question. When you banalize that Igbos are not selling land, that is not Nigeria. Nigeria is about Nigeria. Because Dr. Akwati, you told Igbos that they were not selling land to Yorubas, which I find as a multiple fabrication. It's not true. It's not statement of fact. Nigeria should be Nigeria. I'm a Nigeria by heart. I bought properties in Lagos. I do business in Lagos. I do business everywhere. So President Tinubu should be able to know that Nigeria should be Nigeria. If President Tinubu refuses that Nigeria is Nigeria, then he can't be president of Lagos State. He can't be president of Osun State. He can't be president of Oyo State or Rivers State. This VAT must be a VAT where we work to be able to reflect the influence of Nigerian people. Nigeria is a country that if harnessed well, without tribalism, without anybody taking where he comes from, for me, we should remove every local government, everything you come from, wherever your state is from, we should remove it in any form we feel in doing business in Nigeria.
Okay.
So I think that President Tinubu wanted to be president, and I hope if he really wanted to be president, he should use that office to do Nigeria to be one country. He has an opportunity to write his name in gold. And for me, let me be honest with you, President Tinubu looks and has acted boldly for every decision they are taking. Okay. He might be right, he must be wrong, but history will exonerate him.
Okay, Senator Kalu, I've heard you. The point about national integration is very important. But Professor Wole Soyinka had posed a question. When is a nation? When is Nigeria going to become a nation? I think that's a question all of us should answer instead of staying in our ethnic cocoons. And on land, where I don't want to debate land with you, but there is an essay by Leo Tolstoy titled, How Much Land Does a Man Need? It's a very instructive test, but let me leave that subject since it's a subject that people are already debating publicly. Very exciting to have generated a national debate.
Land, Dr. Apati. No, people should not lead land. Whatever Professor Wole Soyinka said, Dr. Apati, people should not lead land because everything you have in life is vanity. You cannot sleep in two beds. You cannot sleep in one. You cannot drive two cars. You cannot go on out of everything. You see, for example, since I went into Kuje prisons and left Kuje prisons, my idea about life changed. Because I went from the lowest point of life and I've seen all. This is why people like me are not afraid of death. We are not afraid of what you say or what you do. I am about Nigeria. So if we are talking about any law on anything, President Tinubu should be able to stand firm about Nigeria. He has to lead Nigeria. He's not leading Lagos State. He's not leading Osun State. He's not leading Oyo State. This state you call makes no meaning to me. He should lead Nigeria. And as a president that wants to lead Nigeria, he should stand up and lead Nigeria. That is the only thing the Nigerian people will respect him for.
Well, Senator, you are very right.
I support for him to lead Nigeria, not to lead any section of the country.
You are very right.
This country is too big to lead any section.
We need patriots.
You must lead Nigeria.
We need
and
patriots.
Present Nigeria.
We need nationalists. We do not need ethnic champions.